Hi everyone, Sabrina here, and today I want to talk about how your overprotective ego is ruining all of your manifestation and happiness in life. And let me explain how that works. So, if you want to manifest well, the key point being well, there are many ways to manifest, but if you want the fastest results, the best way to do it is to align your spiritual self with your emotional self and to align your actions with those two things. So the general equation is to just take the right actions that aligns with your heart, that is feeling the right feelings and is tapped into the right vibration, and to align it with your spiritual and subconscious thoughts that is also tapped into the right vibrations. But when you have an overbloated ego, what happens is it actually prevents you from taking the right course of actions. And it's actually not just limited to actions. Having an oversensitive or overbloated ego will also prevent you from feeling the feelings that you truly feel around a situation and not just, oh, I should just get over it and then move on from that situation. Because that's not processing your emotion, that's just pushing it down. So, to start off, let me explain how being overly egotistical prevents you from truly processing your real feelings around a situation. So this year I dated a few people and I really like a lot of them. And what happened is when something didn't work out between me and another guy, I kept telling myself, "Oh, I'm too good for them anyways," and they were not really up to my standards anyways. And to a certain degree that was right, but I just kept telling myself those things instead of truly feeling my true feelings, which was deep down, I felt like I took an L in a lot of those situations, and I wasn't really acting out of self love. I was acting out of desperation at times. And I had a lot of disappointment towards myself, but at the same time, I also had to process the feelings that, okay, although I see the flaws in these people, I still very much genuinely like them. And that is something that I had to be honest to myself. You don't really need to talk to someone to truly process these emotions, aside from just being honest with yourself about what it is that you truly feel. And for people who have suffered from some kind of narcissistic abuse, you understand exactly what I mean. There are a lot of emotions that you can process without having to talk it out with someone. And if that is you in the romantic sense, it is completely okay to just be honest with yourself about what it is that you truly feel about a situation and to admit that you took an L sometimes and to truly move on from that situation. Because when you're not even honest with yourself about what happened to you, what you end up doing is you'll just be pushing away those emotions down and to try to saturate your mind and distract your mind and feelings with a lot of other things that are even worse for you, because that's normally how coping mechanisms work. And at some point those emotions will implode on you. So let's say if you had a subconscious feeling that, oh, you took an L when it comes to dating life this year and it heavily affected you, and you just push those feelings away by being a workaholic and you never truly process it, what happens is that subconscious feeling or subconscious thought of you taking an L will end up transferring to your career or your job. And as a result, you start taking the wrong course of actions at your job and perform worse than usual. And and this is how a suppressed emotion will end up spiraling all other aspects of your life until you truly look at your feelings, or you push your emotions away to a certain point where you're completely numb and you can just fully function in your daily life. And I truly don't recommend you to take the second route, because taking the second route is how you sabotage all the future potential romantic encounters. Because without understanding our true feelings and emotions, we won't know what it is to truly love again. And that is something that I don't wish upon anyone, because that is what truly hell feels like. But aside from the emotional stage of the ego self sabotage, there is another stage of self sabotage, that is the ego preventing you from taking the right course of actions of what it is that you need to do to reach your goals. And let me explain that. So, what happens is, let's say you want to be a famous TikToker. then what you gotta do is to probably post 5 to 6 TikToks a day because that's what the algorithm favors right now. But if you have some kind of egoic self sabotage thoughts that is preventing you from taking that leap of faith, or you took that same leap of faith before on another platform and you failed, then your ego will be telling you, like, oh, actually, no, just put that off. Or, like, oh, actually, we don't really feel like doing that because if we do that, we're just gonna fail again. And our emotions can't really handle taking another L. We don't really want to take another failure. And what happens is you'll end up with zero motivation to actually post on TikTok or do whatever it is that you need to do to reach your goals. And you end up not building an account on TikTok at all, and you just completely sabotage yourself. And what you really need to understand here is that that is your ego trying to keep you in your comfort zone to prevent you from feeling the hurt of taking that leap of faith from a previous failure or for any other reasons. Because the things and the traumas that we experience in our childhood can very much also form that egoic barrier to protect us. So, for example, if you're someone who's been through a lot of trauma as a child, you'll become someone who's hypervigilant and extremely sensitive. So, even though you want to become a TikToker, and you understand that to become a TikToker, you have to be able to take hate comments, and that goes for any public figure on any platform. So, in order to prevent that from happening again, your ego will just tell you, like, oh no, we shouldn't do that. Like, you don't want to get hurt again. So, like, don't post it. Even though you have a very strong desire and determination to become a famous TikToker. And to resolve that, we really need to understand and soothe our inner child. And if it's not your inner child, whether it's inner teenager or the person that you were when you previously failed that leap of faith, you need to be able to have compassion for them and to really hold them in your own heart and tell them that it's okay. So, for example, if you're someone who's been through a lot of trauma as a child, you'll become someone who's hypervigilant and extremely sensitive. So, even though you want to become a TikToker, and you understand that to become a TikToker, you have to be able to take hate comments, and that goes for any public figure on any platform. So, in order to prevent that from happening again, your ego will just tell you, like, oh no, we shouldn't do that. Like, you don't want to get hurt again. So, like, don't post it. Even though you have a very strong desire and determination to become a famous TikToker. And to resolve that, we really need to understand and soothe our inner child. And if it's not your inner child, whether it's inner teenager or the person that you were when you previously failed that leap of faith, you need to be able to have compassion for them and to really hold them in your own heart and tell them that it's okay. And the reason why things will be okay is because now you're acting with more knowledge from your previous failures or from the things that you learned in the past. So the same things won't happen again. And if you were hurt as a child, now as an adult, you have the full power to be able to protect yourself. So the same things absolutely won't happen again. And once you appeased, soothed, and healed the wounded past version of yourself, now your ego will be able to put down that shield and know that it's safe to continue into a new future. But until you truly take that leap of faith and try something different from what you did before, you will always be stuck in a cycle of acting out of your previous emotions or subconscious beliefs. And that is why it is very important and very crucial for you to heal from your past traumas or your past hurt so you could finally truly let those emotions go and step into a new vibration that will propel you into a better future. Because if you're always acting out of your previous hurt, you'll always end up attracting similar situations or people of the similar vibrations that are just very unhealed and might continuously do some damage to you unknowingly or not. So if you find yourself kind of stuck in a loop of doing the same things over and over again with no different results every single time, please check any of the past hurt or wounding experiences that you had to push down for whatever reason and to really go back and resolve that for yourself. Remember, a lot of these things don't even need you to revisit your connection with someone in the past that has hurted you, because a lot of these things can be resolved with a good therapist or psychiatrist or just by yourself. But at the same time, it's also good to remember that healing, it's not always easy and it's not always linear. So you really have to give yourself as much compassion as possible and as much patience as possible, and to not give up on your healing journey, because sometimes it will get very hard. And sometimes you'll be wondering to yourself, oh, when am I going to be healed? When does this healing journey ends? When am I going to be okay again? And you'll know that when you somehow end up facing the same situation or a very similar situation, and you feel completely different from the way you feel before, to the point that you end up taking a different course of action. And a lot of times, when you truly take that leap of faith and really take a course of action that's different from what you've always been doing, the universe will also reflect back to you that, okay, good job. Now you're in a new vibration. So now we're showing you a new and better reality. And now, not only you'll be able to gain better results from before, you'll also feel a lot more healed, because now you know that, okay, so I just gotta do this and that, so and things won't be the same way ever again. And now, because you have concrete fact in your face showing you that the past mistakes or the past hurt that you experienced won't come up again, your subconscious will completely start putting down the egoic shield that you put up for yourself. But it is a huge leap of faith in itself to start breaking down that egoic shield. And it really takes a lot of self introspection to realize when you actually have that ego shield up. And I'm fully aware that everything I just said sounds like a huge catch 22. But I want you to think about what people always say about as above, so below, as within, so without. So, in order to truly heal from something, it really has to come from deep within first, to have the determination to heal no matter what. So, you will be inspired to take the right course of actions that will materialize into actual result, to show you that, oh, things really won't be like what it is from before. And now you'll be truly, truly healed, as your eyes also see the result of the actions that you took. So I want to give a personal example. So I've always wanted to make advice or spiritual guidance type of video on social media, and it doesn't matter what platform it is. I just want to yap about them and have an audience that likes to hear about them. And for some reason, I just never really felt like posting on TikTok, even though I know that there's a huge spirituality and self-help community out there on TikTok. And after doing some inner reflection, I realized that it is actually because whenever I post these type of content on TikTok, they actually blew up the fastest compared to IG or YouTube. And for whatever reason, that low-key freaks me out. And because I had a deep inner wound from my childhood traumas about being seen and being criticized, I just haven't really feel like posting on TikTok for a very long time, or I always feel like it's a heavy lifting chore to be posting on TikTok for whatever reason. And it really wasn't until recently that I finally did some deep self-reflection regarding being seen and heard, that I was able to get myself to pump out 5 to 6 TikToks in a day. And now a lot of my spiritual guidance or astrology TikTok are doing pretty good numbers for the amount of followers that I have. And seeing the amount of views and likes my video have is also the moment that it really clicked to me how much my ego shield's been protecting me from taking that leap of faith to truly transform my life, because it wants me to keep staying in my comfort zone so that I won't get hurt again. And after I did some deep inner work regards to being seen and heard, posting TikTok feels like nothing right now. Posting 5 to 6 TikToks a day just feels like drinking 5 to 6 cups of water in a day. So once again, if you know that you have some kind of goal that you really want to work towards in life, but for some reason you just can't seem to find the motivation to put in the exact work that you need to do every single day, then please just start with some deep inner work in regards to what it is that is truly preventing you from taking those course of actions, and to see what kind of ego shield that you put up in order to protect yourself. And I know that it's a very common thing to label ego as, oh, I'm a know it all, and ego is very loud, is very boastful, and it is something that is seen as more of a narcissistic trait. But in reality, ego can also be very protective to keep you inside your comfort zone, which is why a lot of people don't even realize that they have an ego shield put up. Because a lot of the times, that this ego shield is meant to be something that is seemingly good for us. Because deep down, we all want to feel comforted, we all want to feel protected, and we all want to feel that we're doing well in life. And this is when you don't even realize that there is an ego shield that's preventing you from making the necessary transformations that you need to take. And in a sense, I'd actually argue that this ego shield is actually a lot more dangerous than just having a loud ego that is more in your face, because this one is much harder to detect. So, if you don't want such a troublesome obstacle to prevent you from reaching your goals in life, please, please, please do that inner work and heal yourself from deep within. And that's it for today's video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.